welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're visiting PAX Unplugged, and next to me is Steven from Stronghold and Indie Boys and Cards, right?
That's right, my new best friend.
Yes. So Steven showed me Flamme Rouge and Gangshan Clever last time at...
Which we call That's Pretty Clever in English.
Right.
Most people still say Gans, but it's kind of fun to use the German name too.
Yeah. I get the joke now. And I think that was Dice Tower West, and now we meet again later this year. And we're going to talk about their most popular game, Terraforming Mars. So, Steven, tell me, for the folks who don't know about Terraforming Mars, there's so few of them.
Anybody out there doesn't know Terraforming Mars? Come on. If you don't know it, you got to know about it. But I'll tell you about it.
Yeah. Just a quick intro, the theme and all that.
Sure. So 2016, the game came out. We couldn't keep it in stock. We almost can't keep it in stock now. It's selling so crazy. Terraforming Mars is literally, it kind of uses projected science, like really it uses good science that we might have 400 years from now to terraform, to change the planet Mars into a habitable place. So you do things like adding greenery, you know, forests and things like that, melting the polar ice caps to add oceans there, building cities, and all of these things, giving you TR, which is terraforming ratings, and the highest victory points terraforming rating is going to win that game.
Yeah. So in the base game, basically if you're playing the standard version, you go through a draft phase, and you have a hand of cards, and you try to play them to help you terraform the Mars.
And then those are all project cards. You're playing projects that the world government is handing out to you as a corporation to do these things on the planet Mars.
Right. And then basically when the planet gets to a certain point, the game will end, and then whoever has the most points will win. So there's so many expansions. Steven, let's start with the basic strategy tips. What are some of the strategies that you want people to pay attention to? It doesn't matter what expansion they're playing.
Right. So I mean, really, for me, I think the best thing to do is to focus on one type of card, not exclusively, but mostly. Like if you're going to be going after, there's all of these different resources that you can put on the card. So if you're going after like the microbes, you go and hit that thing hard, get every microbe card possible and do it. Or if you're going after like greenery, just keep building the greenery. There are many viable strategies in there. If you're too general in the game, I don't think you're going to do that well. Focus on something and then just go with it. And it may pay off, sometimes it doesn't, but that's to me the best way of going. And don't forget those milestones and awards at the bottom of the board. That's huge points at the end. Those are game-changing wins for you. So always have a goal to I'm going to try to get that milestone. I'm going to try to get that award, and you're going to do well in the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think you have to try to not diverge yourself too much. Right. Pick a path based on what cards you have, and then what you can pay for, really, and then try to pick cards that will synergize with the milestones.
Right, and you made a good point about the cards. So your hand is going to kind of dictate to you what you're going to do. At the beginning of the game, you're going to get those, when we play in the advanced game, you're going to get the two corporations, you're going to pick one, and then that's going to give you a strategy, basically, because it's going to say you're really good at heat generation or something like that. And then those cards, you're going to grab, oh, okay, these are the ones I want to start with, and those ones I'm going to be looking for later in the game.
All right, so it has about 1 million, maybe a lot of expansions, which I'm really grateful for, because you want to be able to keep playing a good game over and over, but not get tired of it. So new maps, new mechanics. Always, I appreciate that when it comes to developers supporting the game. Absolutely. So let's talk about the different expansions. Right. Let's go down the list. So how many are there?
There are currently 4, with the 5th one coming really, really, really soon. So we did them in this order. We did. The first one was Hellas Elysium. It's a double-sided game board, and you're playing in different parts of Mars. So everyone thought that the original board was like the entire surface. Not even close. It was at 15-20% of the planet. Now you have 2 more parts of the planet you can play on. All different placement bonuses for the tiles that you put down, and all different milestones and awards. So it completely changes up the strategies that we just talked about. Everything gets changed. Then the second one was Venus Next. Venus Next, it puts a sideboard there with Venus. Now Venus is, if anybody knows the way these planets look, it would be a much longer term project to try to terraform. There's temperatures on Venus at 900 degrees, all thick carbon dioxide atmosphere, very different kind of thing. You will terraform Venus up to 30%, not very high, not the whole planet, and you'll be adding these floaters into the skies, these floating cities and floating platforms there. That's sort of the things you do there. We then went with Prelude. Now, Prelude was a truly, I couldn't say revolutionary to the game, but it added such a fundamental thing, because when you get your 2 corporations, you also get 4 Prelude cards, a new card in the game. And you choose your 1 corporation, and you choose 2 of the 4 Prelude cards. What do? They're going to give your corporation more differentiation than the next person's corporation. And they're going to give you a big bonus, and everyone's going to get another different big bonus to really jumpstart the economy of the entire game. So the game, kind of ramps up slowly, that first generation, that second generation, which like the game turns. But once you get Prelude cards, it's almost like you're like starting in the 3rd generation. It just jumpstarts the whole economy of the game. And then the 4th one was Colonies, and this is where you're setting up colonies in the outer moons of the solar system, like on Europa or Ganymede, or on our moon, Luna, it's called in the game, and in different places. So you can set up colonies there, and people come there to like trade, and they get things, and people have to pay you when they take things from you. So it's a way to just generate more interaction with the players, and that was a really good thing about terraforming. It's kind of like you're doing your own thing most of the time, Terraforming Mars. And the interaction is in the card play and on the surface here, but now you have more interaction, because as you're going to visit other colonies that you've already set something up on, I got to pay you, and then I can mine some resources and things like that. But the big one that everyone's waiting for, of course, Terraforming Mars Turmoil. And Turmoil is the 5th and last major expansion for the game, actually. And this adds...
Is it really?
The last major expansion, meaning it's going to add a new major mechanic. Now, there's going to be more products. I guarantee more products. But this is the last... we can add more Prelude cards, we could add more more project cards for Venus and Colonies, but the last sort of real game-changing thing. So in Turmoil, what happens when enough people get together and start having different ideas about things? Politics, right?
Turmoil.
Yeah, turmoil in the form of like politics and a Mars government starting to be set up. So you're gonna be able to send delegates to the Terraforming Council, and there's like 6 factions, parties on the planet Mars. There are like the Kelvinists. They believe that the best thing to do is constantly raise the temperature of Mars. That's going to be the best thing to do this. There's the scientists. They want to make sure Mars can be continued to be used for scientific experiments, etc. There's like 6. And why would you want to have more delegates there? Because there's also going to be these global event cards, which you can plan for. You're going to see the current generation event, the next generation, and the one after that. So you can say like, oh wow, in 2 generations, I really want to be back in the Kelvinists, because I'm going to get a huge benefit from that. So I'm going to try to set myself up to be in control of that party later in the game.
Okay, quick question. So we're still trying to terraform, but
yes,
while we're terraforming, we now have to worry about the politics.
We have to worry about politics because each party has a different idea about how things should work. And you'll get, if you are supporting a given party, you'll get a better benefit when a good thing happens, or a less negative thing when a bad thing happens. Because each one of these events could be positive, or they could be negative for everyone. So you're going to benefit more, or not be affected badly as much.
So they come in as a form of events, or they replace the current milestones?
No, these are new, completely new mechanic in the game. There's a global event. There'll be the current generation, one more generation, and one. So it's like, when we think about politics and things here, we can see that, we better start thinking about climate change in this planet, right? So therefore, maybe I got to back somebody here that's going to do, work on climate change. That's how it plays out. Again, very thematic. You've got these cute little delegate meeples that you go and you put them into the various places on this sideboard again. There's another sideboard there for the global event cards. So it's all laid out there. You're almost playing a separate area control game on the side, and the control in the end is to influence those global events that are going to happen. So
for the players who are going to buy this brand new expansion day 1, what are some of the things that you recommend them to pay attention to, or like some quick strategy tips?
Yeah, to me, it's like in real life. If you ignore politics, you suffer the consequences, right?
Wow.
Right. That's like a thing, right? So to me, just keep an eye on what's going to be happening. And you can really because if you can keep an eye on where the benefits or the negative things are happening and how those things will affect you. So you may not be, let's just say, there's going to be something that's going to be really good for people producing heat, but maybe that's not your thing. So maybe you don't even care about going and influencing the Kelvinists at all. So maybe you can not worry about that, but there's but you're in a microbe strategy, and the scientists are going to be really big. So if I back the scientists 2 generations from now, so you just got to watch those things that are happening and push your influence toward the stuff that's really going to benefit you a lot or not hurt you, because sometimes you can get really hurt by something that's about to happen.
So don't necessarily make it your primary objective, but make sure that you support whatever that's help you with whatever your primary strategy is, or to make sure that it doesn't hinder you if something else grows too powerful.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Terraforming Mars, obviously there's a lot of planning that goes in general in the game, but here now you have known things that are going to happen, right? One is this generation, that's really going to happen like as soon as we're over, this thing is going to take effect. You have things for the next and then one after that. So you can really go, okay, I'm going to do this now so that I can do this later. It's right there laid out for you. Or, I mean literally, or if you've got some other strategies that's working for you, you can ignore the politics altogether. You can do that, but you'll suffer the consequences and not get the good benefits that other players might get. So you got to temper the whole thing.
But now there is a way to mitigate if you, for some reason, didn't get good cards in the first turn. You can go into politics.
That's right, absolutely, yeah. And everyone gets some free political moves each turn, and there's going to be neutral delegates there that are going to be messing you up as well. So yeah, so you have ways of doing more things really early in the game.
Okay. So I'm really excited for Turmoil, but if you had to pick, not including Turmoil, what's your favorite expansion? And give me your quick strategy tip for that.
Not fair.
I know, you got to pick one of your kids.
Oh my gosh, yeah, pick one of your kids, throw the other ones off the bus,
Your
right?
favorite.
Oh my God. I mean, really, everyone says that the expansion that you really just must have for the game is Prelude, because it gives you that really cool differentiation between your corporation and the next corporation. So that's almost too easy for me to pick, because everyone says that Prelude is their favorite. But really, of everything out there, I mean, I just love Hellas and Elysium so much, because every strategy that you have, once you play the game, and you get used to, like, okay, I take the Ecoline Corporation and I go after the Gardener, milestone on the board. It's kind of a straightforward path to do that. You play on Hellas Planitia, it doesn't exist. You can't do that anymore. So it just changes all the strategies up. So to me, that's game changing, So I really kind of like that a lot.
Yeah, especially because it was the first one, and like Terraforming Mars is so powerful, and after a while there's so many different people talk about like, this is what you do, this is what you do, and then that came and then everything changed, and it was a game changer, really.
Boom. Game changer.
All right, cool. Stephen, thank you so much for telling me about Terraforming Mars, all its glory, and the baby coming up, Turmoil.
Turmoil coming out at the end of the year. It's on December 31st, so you can have a New Year's Eve party with Terraforming Mars.
Right. Oh, totally. Right. Yeah. And sharing your personal strategies, telling me all about the new hotness, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.